So, in Luciferianism, you hear me speak a lot about the daemon, the true will, the self, the higher self, etc., what Crowley called the holy guardian angel. Well, one easy way of part of the process of listening, trusting your instincts, and developing the concept or the connection with the daemon or extension of the black flame is to utilize things like tarot, if that's an interest for you. It could be runes, things like that, even in the Black Mirror. But more specifically, the tarot has it's a great tool, really, because you can utilize it for different types of focus points, different types of workings, different types of aims. I'm going to show you a few decks, and specifically, for example, how a few of those could be used in an initiatory way. The first thing I'll say is you can use the cards to ask questions and quote divine, or to seek answers. Now, what you need to focus on in doing this and build this up over time is, as you read the cards, trust your instincts. And your instincts and that daemon, that developing and enhancing force that you're going to refine, a part of yourself, that spirit. By trusting your instincts, listening, you're going to know yourself on a deep level, but also know your aims and the discipline of will required to attain something. Also the realistic view of oftentimes the struggle to do things like that. So the tarot, each card, you talk about the major arcana, each card can be used as a way of seeking the knowledge of that particular symbolism of the card. Think of your daemon as operating within the extent of your body, your mind, your spirit. It's that's the extent of which it operates. It doesn't control weather. It doesn't cause, it's really all about the government and the development of you. Things that you do will enhance, strengthen, refine, or harm the self, the idealized spirit we call the daemon, or agathodaimon. So with that said, the true will is directly related to those. A great way of that communication, bringing that out, besides the various ceremonial workings that I've utilized over the years that I've published, but also specific types of endurance activities or things that will push you over the brink of exhaustion to essentially become aware of the daemon. What I'll say is each card, the daemon delegates specific types of symbolism and energy within that symbol. So if you take, for instance, the symbol of the chariot relating to the moon or Cancer is a specific type of energy associated within yourself, nature, and happenings according to that. And any tarot deck can be used and you really need to be inspired by the deck. It needs to be something you like, something you feel close to, something you connect to. That instinctual knowledge, I understand that type of thing, is directly related to the daemon and trusting your instinctual will, your true will. So let's look at a few different. Now, of course, I'm going to start off with the Luciferian Tarot. Now, keep in mind, it's out of print. We have a few copies kind of packed away which will be unveiled years to come. But the general retail is sold out. It's out of print. But this is one deck which is ideal for this type of initiatory work. This tarot box, something from the Luciferian Apotheca, of course. You look at, and this is for large decks, so you look at this card, for example. Now, using a card in a specific type of meditation or ceremonial working and dream working is a great way to begin. So you take the Emperor, the ruling force. This is a syncretic deific mask of Samael and Tiamat, essentially the fiery and chaotic force, relating to mastery, self-mastery, and also the balance between the unconscious, the primal, the dark, and the illuminating consciousness, the light, the articulated intelligence, the idealized self, balancing that. So focusing upon daemonic, like Azalu cell workings, or some type of holy guardian angel or daemon working, recited and focused on prior to sleep or a deep meditative state, will allow you to explore the symbolism of this card. Essentially use this as a gateway into that imagery and astral realm. Take notes of all the symbols that you encounter. It does matter. Queen of Wands, Lilith, the fiery emotional passion, the balance between the material and the spiritual, carnal, emotional, but also devouring and hungering. This is ambition, desire, the desire to achieve your goals, to have conquest. The Luciferian would balance this with calculated or strategic thought and planning prior to action. So you see each card has a specific type of working that can be done with it, all relating to self-initiation. And Hecate has many different approaches that you can take as a Luciferian. My previous Hecate video, you can kind of understand the different ways you can approach, like, say, this type of card. The Hermit, this is a type of mastery, the individualization of the Luciferian. And this can relate to your goals, directly to the Daemon, your goals in life. Sometimes if you look at the shadow, there is the devil or demonic aspect. This is, as I've said, the primal, the dark, the predatory. This is our hungers, our wild passions, our desire to master our obstacles, to conquer our enemies. And then you see the angelic form, imbued and illuminating from within, shining light from within. That's the black flame. The daemon and angel as one. It's casting the dark shadow. So we hold our own light, and we cast our own shadows of darkness. And that is the essence of the Hermit. This is mastery in your daily life, your world, your goals. Are you dressing the way that you're required to for whatever you're doing? For including yourself into the social contract to achieve your goals. So think about that. All types of different ways you can use these, the Luciferian Tarot. The Aleister Crowley Thoth Deck, this particular deck I have had since the mid 1990s. And this is just one way a Luciferian can use the thelemic symbolism, which is completely parallel and compatible with Luciferianism. The fortune card. If you notice, we have a wheel here. Now, in what I've said about Luciferianism, liberation, illumination, and apotheosis, this is that wheel turning continually, building up force, energy, momentum, your will to enhance your design and your experience in this world. You see, fortune, you are central to that, and you are turning that wheel, the solar, starry, fiery power in the center, moving that wheel in momentum and building force according to your design. This is just a simple way in which tarot cards can be used in initiatory ways. So think about that. This particular tarot is called the Daemon Tarot. It's by a lady named Ariana Osborne. The tarot is based from the original illustrations of Louis Brenton from Colin de Plancy's Dictionary Infernal. Now, you've seen a lot of these images on the internet, and they're classical and empowering goetic demon iconography. So I'd like to show you a couple of the cards and how this is totally useful to the Luciferian. You have Bereth or Beret, as you know from some of you have seen my Seleucid coin of Antiochus IV from the city of Beretos. It has Beret in a Poseidon-like image. But this is the medieval demonology associated with Bereth. He is the really a focus on the oath of initiation, the oath to attain and achieve your goals, the Baal or Lord of the contract. Andrus, you have a classical demon of death. Etymology-wise, Andrus, I would say, is connected to Andraste, the Celtic Briton goddess of war, invoked by a rebel queen during the Roman period. Andrasta is a powerful protection and eliminating adversaries or people you consider enemies. You have Abraxas, Volok. You modern, in the past few years, know this as the nun in the Conjuring films and so forth. But this is actually a depiction of Volok or Valak, alternate spelling. Azazel, of course, the Forge, Fire, and Underworld. Baal, who is associated with Baal Adad, the storm god, but also Beelzebub, or Beelzebub, which we have a card for him as well. Lucifer, of course, an excellent card. Moloch, underworld chthonic god of the Canaanites in the Palestine area. Ammon, from Ammon-Ra, the Egyptian god turned demon. Leonard, the one who leads to the Sabbat, which is Sabbath. Ronovi, a demon of languages and understanding. Bauer, of healing. Gap, one of the major demon kings in the medieval tradition. Belphegor, also known as Chemosh. Beelzebub, Lord of Magicians, Lord of Flies and Divination. Asmodeus, and Adramelech, who's a variant of Moloch. They've been kind of blended. Paimon and Astaroth, one who's really kind of a patron spirit of Luciferianism in many ways. A card utilized in the Sabbat for dream projection and the mysteries of the witch's Sabbat. So this is a highly interesting deck, and it's carried by the Luciferian Apotheca, but can be used by Luciferians and non-Luciferians alike.